We're in Gleeson, Arizona, home of the Gleeson Ghost Town. Part of the structures, the old history of Arizona. A once inhabited town is now a ghost town. They've got it chained, fenced off so you can't get in. Rather windy this morning. Sure would like to get back there and see that. Right at the base of this mountain range. Love the Arizona heritage. Where we at today, honey? You can see there was a mining operation at one time up there. Now I don't know whether we can get up there or not. Once inhabited land is now nothing. There's another structure back there. And it looks like there's another structure down here. An old barren building. Air conditioning on top and a wood stove coming through the roof. It looks like an old trailer. I wonder if we can get up to that mining operation there. Only thing we can do is see. We have no spare right now. I'm waiting on to getting a tire in tomorrow, so we have to be very careful where we go. Here is another abandoned structure, and it has bars on the windows. It's falling down. It looks like it may have even burnt. I think it did. We're now at the historic Gleeson Jail. It looks like it was built in 1910. It is now, what, 20, almost 22. So 112 years old. Looks like the door's open. So I'm gonna go ahead and go on inside and see what I can see. Gleeson Jail inmates, they used to be cuffed to this bench. Original jail door from Woodring Jail at this location. Look at the spiders. This is not a gun-free zone. Oh, isn't this magnificent? Here's the old billy club with a set of keys attached to it. There's a snake skin. I believe there is a caretaker that lives on the premises here. All kinds of old artifacts. Influenza, big story on influenza, 1918. We all know about pandemics, don't we? But they got through that one, and we will get through this one. We just need to persevere. That looks like an original photo of an Indian. Joe Bono's store, I think that is the store that we may have been looking at across the road that had collapsed from burning. And I hope I got that without being too close and having the zoom on too much. There's Joe Bono as a child. It was a store and a saloon. Oh, an old Zenith radio. Mm-hmm.
Old stove.
Yeah, I'd love to have that.
Old record player. Look at that record player.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm thankful that honest people come in here and look around.
Mm-hmm. All them artifacts up there. There's an old sword. We used to have one of these when I was a kid. We had it like a sickle. It was on a long handle that you could cut brush down and weeds with it. I can't get back here to see what all's back here. Let's see. Oh, just an old closet. There's a 22 shell. It's unfortunate that we need guns to protect ourselves these days, but we still do. All the old law enforcement badges. U.S. Marshal, Tombstone. Pony Express. Arizona Rangers. There was a city marshal. They had a difference back then. They had a city marshal, U.S. Marshal. They had sheriffs. They all had different duties, much like today. But back then, a lot of people was on the take. When we was in Tombstone yesterday, they kind of insinuated that Wyatt Earp was on the take, was trying to control the money in Tombstone. What all do we have here? I have some old coins, older than that. I have one back in 1798. An old Indian head penny that's the size of a $50, almost.
They have shirts here too. The coins over there for $5. Shirts here, but I don't know how much they are. They don't have anything but extra large.
What's back here? Anything? It's just another closet. Some more of the outside of the old Gleeson jail. outhouse is this way. This is the scenic route. Old wagon. That's kind of neat. This video is going to be in part of our Exploring Arizona series. The back of the jail. Yeah, I wonder how many people was actually housed in this jail when it was a working jail. Here's an old car just outside the Gleeson jail. It's like somebody's been doing some target practice on it, or did at one time. This is Joe Bono. He's taking us on a tour in the Polaris. He's going to take us up to the mine. Joe tells me that the big oak tree that we're looking at right now was the hanging tree back in the day, and I'm just glad I didn't end up on the hanging tree. This is a cross that Joe made out of railroad spikes, and he lights it at night so the people coming down the highway can see it.
Bigger pay, bigger operation, so the mines kind of dwindled down, and they didn't deplete the ore. The ore is still there, and they've had the Japanese and the Canadians looking at it to see if it'd be feasible to mine it out of there.
There's the old schoolhouse. It was actually one story with a huge basement, and at one time 115 kids came from all over the area to attend school there.
Here they bring their RVs and they'll camp out here on the weekends.
Here's a better look at the old schoolhouse, you guys. Once probably was a magnificent structure.
Yeah, you can see the cables along the walls. That's how they used to, for the cement, de-stress it.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the wood here was taken up to the Crystal Palace and used for the floor and the ceiling on the Crystal Palace up in Tombstone.
Folks, here's a better look at the old hanging tree. Think about how many people may have been hung on this tree.
This, you see the cable and the chain. The cable used to go across the ways to the other tree, and they'd tie the prisoners or handcuff them with their wrist on the cable. That way they could use the wash as a bathroom. That way when the wash ran, it cleaned the bathroom up.
Again, this is Joe Bono. He's been nice enough to give us a tour. It's his property. He comes down from Tucson on the weekends. Is it one weekend a month, Joe?
Yes, sir.
And opens it up?
The first weekend of the month, I'm usually here Saturday. But you can see the cable. The tree is about 300 years old.
That is a huge tree.
And, it was getting so rowdy down here with the cowboys getting drunk on the weekends and everything. They had them down here, but then they moved and made the jail up there in 1910. That was before Arizona was a state. It was territory. But it was getting real rowdy. They had to do something about it.
Now, how far are we from the Mexican border right here?
We're about 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
Yeah, going down to Douglas.
Okay.
It's about 45 minutes away, but...
He lived in the back of that saloon where his dad owned. Did you get that? Well, you can put it on. I know you got it.
Yeah.
So you can add it when you do the...
Yeah. Joe lived right there in the back of that saloon that his father owned. Folks, this is the old Gleeson Hospital. Now, Joe tells me that the miners did not wear safety gear when they worked the mine, so there was a lot of them that made use of this this old hospital here at the Gleeson Ghost Town.
The bricks, the reason the bricks have, adobe bricks, have lasted so long, when they used to kill a cow, they would drain it, the blood, and they would mix it with the mud, and then they'd add straw to it to make the brick.
Mm.
And that's how they used to make these old adobe bricks.
Wow.
With a cow blood.
So how old is this hospital, in your opinion, Joe?
1910, I believe.
112 years old. Wow.
And then there's a pit over there when they used to have amputations. They'd burn the body parts because they didn't want the coyotes or animals getting to it. It's right around the corner here.
The old hospital, now where snakes, scorpions, and tarantulas now make their home. Here is the pit that Joe just explained to you, where they would burn the amputated body parts to keep the coyotes from getting them.
Oh my.
And back behind there was the blacksmith shop. There was a big blacksmith shop there. Had horses, and he fixed whatever he could. Everybody would bring it to the blacksmith to repair.
He was kind of a jack of all trades.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Lot of history down here. Go ahead.
Cochise was held one time at the jail here. He was brought out of the Chiricahuas by Tom Jeffers when they were going to sign the treaty. And in those days they traveled by a horse, so they had to spend the night here in Gleeson. He was held in the jail.
Tell you what, folks, we're on a Polaris. I don't think I'd want to come back here with anything other than a high-lifted Jeep or a Polaris.
To drive when I was 14, 15 years old, but this was the original road.
We enjoyed a bumpy ride up to the mine, but it was well worth it. When we get up here, notice how yellow the ground is. Now, Joe, why is this, these rocks and everything so yellowish up here? Because of the copper?
The copper, the sulfur, they used a lot of chemicals when they used to mine these.
Okay.
And they were looking for the big stuff, actually. And a lot of the tailings here, they say they can come back in and gather the tailings and make some money out of there because the small stuff was thrown away.
Folks, this pit goes 300 feet down, and Joe said to watch out around the edge because it might crumble and you guys might see me down at the bottom of it. But it goes 1,800 feet back into the mountain once you get down to the bottom of the pit.
He used to work the elevator, and they used to have like a whistle. One whistle up, two whistles down, and you know, and they did. You can see the pipes sticking up out of the ground where they used to pump air in there.
Now you may have told me, but what year did the mine officially close?
It was it had a skeleton crew up till the 70s actually.
70s.
People were still working it. There's a lot of turquoise up in here. The copper, the silver, and the gold. So they were working a lot of gold, and they say it's still here.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't deplenished or lost.
That's probably why people was trying to get in there.
Yeah, go back
Yeah.
up in the
There's Joe. There's piles of stuff over there. What is that?
piles.
Looks like animal droppings.
Oh, cows maybe.
It's
Are they
big.
big?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
big.
they're cows.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
cows.
I don't know whether you guys can see down there or not. It gets dark really quick, but I can't even see the bottom. So the cables ran from that shack up to the top.
On the top, yeah. The
Up to the top there. I bet they hauled a lot of weight up and down.
Oh yeah, those big motors sitting on the other side that haul those. And in 1990 or 91, they killed a couple of girls up here at the mines.
Oh my gosh.
He used to go up. He worked in Tombstone, and he was a little off. Him and another guy picked up a couple of girls in Elfrida, got them drunk, and brought them up here. Violated them, killed them, and he was actually sent to Florence for prison to be executed, and he was executed. The other gentleman turned state evidence, and he was released after 20 years.
Okay.
But this is one place that the paranormals, I don't go in it, it's bad juju in there.
Yeah. I told Connie from a distance we seen air conditioning on the roof, and then they had a stove in it. Oh boy. We appreciated Joe, his time and his graciousness, and at the end of the day, we hope that you too enjoyed the tour of the Gleeson Ghost